Nico, look, tonight was about a group of guys that were, a little bit had their backs against the wall, missing a lot of top players in the group, and a group that just refused to lose. So, really proud of our players for the effort that they put in. There's, some noise from the New England locker room before the game, and I think you saw a good response from our guys on the field. We talk all year, and I think over the last 6 seasons, tend to do our talking on the field, which is good. And I think that the players stepped up in a big way, found a way to win the game. It's about surviving and advancing at this point of the year, and now we have an 18-day layoff before we play Cincinnati.
Some of the guys who stood out tonight in unusual places.
Yeah.
Just go in order down the list. Chris Donovan, Joaquin Torres, Nathan Harris.
Yeah, look, like I said, when we're underdogs, I think we kind of are at our best. So, for a lot of reasons, obviously we're shorthanded tonight, injuries, suspensions, different things that happened during the week, a lot of outside things. And, for those guys to step up and play the way they did, Nathan, playing on the left side, really dangerous all night, aggressive going forward, defended really well. And we really held a talented New England attack to not much, in their building, which is good. Obviously, the red card helps. I'm not naive. I understand that. But Chris Donovan comes in and gives us some good minutes. Joaquin, again, I talk about now a guy that is a true professional. Look, his talent, and I talk to him all the time about it, is undeniable. He can play anywhere. For a lot of reasons, his decisions have gone against him this year, but he's an example of a guy who has trained good in the last couple of weeks and got an opportunity and really helped us. So it's a team effort. It's a good win. Again, you never want to leave things to chance and let it go to a third game. So I say it all the time to the group. The hardest thing to do in pro sports is end another team season. It really, really is hard. And New England threw everything at us. We took their best punch on the road, and we move on.
Even in the first half, kind of had more of better chances. And
Yeah.
were able to kind of keep them out of the box. Did you think that was a big factor moving forward?
Yeah, I think the first half was good. Obviously, even before the red card, we were, pretty compact with our diamond. I think that, when it's 35 yards from front to back from Damian and Jack to our strikers, we're hard to break down. Even when they have the talent of a Carlos Hill, who I've told you guys is, one of the best players our league's ever had, really. So we did a good job limiting their chances. Dre had some saves for sure, but overall, we were disciplined, we were composed, and we found a way to win. And again, it wasn't pretty. I understand that. It wasn't the beautiful, attacking transitions where we're, scoring 3 or 4 good goals. But we grinded out a win on the road, and that's all it's about.
Playing Carranza, I know you said it was going to be a game time decision.
Yeah.
It's turf and a lot of other things, but bad is he?
Yeah, so it's a high hamstring. Initially the plan was he jumped into training in midweek on the midweek. I'm getting my days confused. On the weekend, and looked okay, but also just said I still feel it. So our thinking there was, look, we want to still prioritize winning in this game, but if you risk him too soon and he tears it, and then we still have to quick turn around and play on Sunday at home, where we weighed that risk reward, and we thought we could get it done with the group that we had. Look, he wouldn't have missed Sunday, I can tell you that. So now he's got 18 days to recover and get ready for Cincinnati. So it worked out in our favor, and he'll be a guy that look, if we're going to lift the trophy, he's going to be on the field, and that's what we need.
One guy I forgot to mention, Quinn Sullivan.
Yeah.
Not only starting at fourth, but you guys went through a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
You don't do very often.
No.
Take me through that and all of Quinn's contributions.
Yeah, the decision was, at what minute do we want to go for this thing? Because, not much was happening for either team. There was a little bit of a stagnant period of the game, and we wanted to be proactive. Jose, when we're going to just sub Chris in for Mikel, Jose picks up a little bit of a hamstring, and at that point we say, let's go into a 4-2-3-1 and let's go for it. Joaquin's been good in training, but Quinn Sullivan has had, probably his best, 5-block week of training that he's ever had with us. So his confidence is high. He worked really hard tonight. Still, did a good job, buzzing around defensively, helped out. So overall, yeah, again, good team effort. We don't go to a 4-2-3-1, but up a man at that point, we wanted to send guys. There was a discussion maybe of putting Ali even at an outside back, so he could attack on that side because we wanted to end it tonight. Up a man, let's end it tonight. And we were fortunate enough to do that.
On the free kick goal, do you have your players recognize the high line?
Yeah.
Is it pre-planned play, or is that something you look for? And then, hey, if you see that high line, we put it on net and see what happens.
Yeah, obviously, in Kai's absence, Jack was taking the restarts and did a good job for us. Frank does a great job with our offensive and defensive restarts. The guys are always prepared for different situations. A good ball goes in. Did they give someone credit? Who they give credit for the goal? They gave Chris the credit. Okay, good. That's good to hear. So yeah, good. Again, in the playoffs, when it's one play games like that, the restarts can decide things. So when you see the line drop that deep, guys make good runs in front. There's always with VAR now, there's always that, minute and a half pause of, is it a good goal? Was somebody maybe blocking the goalkeeper? But overall, we get the goal off of a restart, and now we move on to the next round, which is good.
Joe Tanzi.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Hey, Joe.
You mentioned it earlier about the underdogs. Well, you're going to be in that role now. The rest of the Eastern Conference playoffs, at least, is that something you guys can rally around these next few weeks going into Cincinnati?
Yeah, look, it's a long layoff to Cincinnati. Obviously, theirs is even longer than ours. Maybe we could play a friendly with them in Kentucky in the meantime to just keep both teams sharp, because we have 18 days till we play. So meet halfway. No, look, it's a great matchup. In some ways it's just like last year, right? Except that we have to go there. They had the best team in the league points wise. We had the best team last year, tied for the best points wise. They'll hopefully win all the awards this year. Individual, coach, all the different accolades, front office. Between Chris and Pat and the job that they've done there, they should win all the awards. So it's almost like a mirror image of last season for us. We'll go there as the underdog, a role that we'll embrace, and it's a hell of a stadium to go to. It's a great crowd there. So now there's a buildup. Chris and I joked on the phone probably literally 3 weeks ago, as soon as we saw that we were 4-5 and it was inevitable that we were going to play each other again. So here we go, and some good narratives, but you guys got 18 days of stories to write.
Matt to George.
Hey Jim, what did you think of the red card, since that kind of happened right in front of you? And are you kind of proud of your guys in any way for kind of keeping their heads when that gets a little rough in the second half?
Yeah, look, it's a red card. I mean, you could see it live. When I saw it live, I thought he could put his foot down a lot of different places right there, and I thought that he chose to put it on Daniel's chest. So of course he'll deny that and then say it was a bad call. But look, man, big picture too. I'll go back to it. Maybe I'm like this old guy that is from a different time, but I can remember, the days of the Shalry Josephs, the Taylor Twellmans, the Clint Dempseys, the Steve Ralstons, the Pat Noonans. When you come here, those guys did their talking on the field. They really did. And they didn't talk much other than that. And they were great players. For whatever reason now, and I say this for all the young kids out there, do your talking on the field, because that's where the games are really won and lost. Talking before the game or after, it's all noise and nonsense. So I just feel like, again, stay humble. We shouldn't have guys talking about us, about who's going to kick who, and then they're guys that don't really even impact the game or even play in some instances. So this is the way it is now. Everybody thinks that, and it's not just New England. You read the headlines of even the Red Bull guy talking about Cincinnati, and you're going, gosh, these guys aren't even guys that impact games. So, it's changed. Maybe that's the younger generation. I love my group because I think they do their, they do their things on the field. So again, it's part of it. It happens, and here we are.
Jose Nunez?
Hi, Jim. Congratulations. I think you are very clear in terms of recognizing talent when you see it. What do you make about Gustavo Bo potentially playing his last game in MLS and maybe not coming back to the league? Obviously, a player that has been incredible over the years now.
Great player. Incredible player. A guy I have a lot of respect for. Him and Carlos Hill, when they get together to try to stop them is really challenging. They do a great job. So again, look, he's been a guy that's a really tough guy to prepare for during when you're preparing for games, and is a intelligent, incredible player. I don't know. I can't speak to what's next for him, but yeah, certainly a guy that I have a great deal of respect for and has had an amazing career.
How happy is your group to not have to play on turf anymore the rest of this postseason?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Obviously, there's still an outside chance that we get another game back at Subaru Park. Some things have to break our way, which is important. And hopefully we can get a break there. But yeah, wherever we play, home or away, obviously we know our next one's in Cincinnati, which will be a real challenge. But if we get past that, at some point now we could get to a final and host it this time. So hopefully we can push and try to make that happen.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Thanks.
All right, and final question will go to Michael Singh.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the victory tonight. I just wanted to ask you about Jack McGlynn. I just get the sense that it's easy to forget that he's just 20 years old, and
Yeah.
wanted your take on just his overall performance tonight and just how important he's been to your team through the stretch.
Yeah, look, Jack is an incredible talent. I think you guys have heard me talk about how great his left foot is. I think he had 5 or 6 really great passes tonight that we actually fouled up in the attacking third of the field, and could have been assists or could have been real good chances, and we didn't execute. So Jack's a great player. He gets better and better too on the defensive side of the ball. Really showed an improvement. When you get one-on-one and isolated with Carlos Hill. And I talked about him trying to force him to his right foot as much as possible. I think he took that information well, led him to double teams, led him towards help, and did a really good job for us. Great game from him. And you're right, he is really still a young player, and he's really thriving and doing well.